I see no problems with the system so far. We should be up. We should be up. Are we up? Are we running? I'm sure you can immediately see some differences. Oh my goodness. Differences in the screen, in the stream, and all that stuff. If you just look. I did a lot of work. I didn't finish. We had a lot of technical difficulties before we started this stream. I was going to start at 3, but I had this mess up on me. And there was some other stuff I was going to add that I just didn't get to. So next stream's going to look even better once we get everything working. I don't know how well the subtitles are going to work. This is the first time I'm going to be testing them out. I don't know if... I know subtitles get worse the more strain I have on the system. What do I think about the Shroud of Turin? Isn't that... The Shroud of Turin, isn't that the one where... Yeah, these subtitles are going to have some issues from what I'm seeing. But that's fine. We can live with that. The Shroud of Turin. Isn't that the Shroud of Jesus? Thank you for the follow. It didn't come through on my side for some reason. Make your live stream livelier. And their name is 666 Devil. While they're promoting whatever in my kick chat. Interesting. How am I doing today? Pretty well. How about you? I'm going to try and test the subtitles while I walk around in games since it's more system intensive. I don't know how it's going to work. We'll see. The Shroud of Turin. I don't know how to feel about it. I know a lot of people say that it can't be a mural of Jesus because back then people or men having long hair was seen as shameful. So the fact that the Turin Shroud has long hair, I feel could be evidence that it's not real. I don't know. I don't really have a stance on it, though. Welcome in, GS. What's going on? Nothing much. We're just going to be playing the game while we hang out. And tell me how well the subtitles work. I'm not going to look at them anymore from now on. They might mess up. They might not. I kept them small in case I ever need to remove them or do anything with them, to be fair. You're back. Welcome in, Quiz. Welcome in, GS. Welcome in, Newbie. It's been a while. Yeah, last stream I was going to stream, but my computer messed up with me just a little bit. I had to get a passport because I'm going on a mission trip. So, it was just a lot of stuff. And I just couldn't stream. I don't remember if I streamed the week before. I'm pretty sure I did. The subtitles are good. Nice. Great. That's amazing. They're mid. Oh, no. Not mid. Crazy. But just a lot went on. So, I know this July I'm not going to be streaming much, if at all, because I am going to camp and then I'm going to a mission trip. So, July is just going to be packed. If I have any days, I might stream 2 days out of the entire month, which isn't a ton. And I don't believe I have enough time to legitimately, like, make videos before I leave, because it's not even a week away at this point. You're almost at 50 subs. That's cool. They're only a second behind what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's the fastest you're really going to get real-time subtitles. Because if you go too fast, you have to sacrifice accuracy, and even then, what I'm doing now is still sacrificing accuracy just a little. But I wanted to test out subtitles on the stream just to see how they'd work, and if they mess up, then how I'm supposed to edit them, because, well, they're burned into the screen. I have to find some way of editing and adding my own subtitles if they mess up, which I do have ways of doing that. I can just grab a, like, clip from another stream that doesn't have them, or I can just post over them with like a blur or something and put actual subtitles over them. I have options. I can do stuff. It's like Jesus' burial cloth, but I've heard people say it's got dye on it. Others say it's blood. Others say it has partial plants from Middle East. I mean, I don't know then, because I thought you were talking about like the shroud where Jesus' face appeared on it. And that, you might still be talking about it. I don't even know. The movie's trying to scare me right now. It's not gonna work no more. Over it. I can't be scared no more. You enjoy the stream? Thank you. I'm glad to be back. I'm still surprised we have so many people coming back here after me not streaming for a little bit. The boos always come back. Sounds like I just completely forgot his name. I'm just gonna say Springtrap. Sounds like Springtrap. I couldn't even... My brain blanked. Yeah, it's cool to be back here. Cool to be hanging out. Oh, Surplus is in here. Hold on. Where's Surplus at? Which stream are you on, man? Which one is you on? There you are. Okay, I'm gonna do this really quick. Okay. Gonna mod Surplus. And I'm gonna mod... Let's see. Gray, since they're in here a lot. The only rules I'm gonna give you guys is try to give some people some grace. Don't immediately time them out. Give them a few chances, a few warnings, whatever. And then if they don't listen, dust the sand off your feet and, like, time them out. Try not to ban them unless they're doing, like, something absolutely horrendous and just not listening. Because I try to time out, and if someone's being, like, a troll or something, I just hide them from the channel. You're on the short stream. Yeah, I found both of you on the short stream, so I added you both as moderators since you're in here, like, pretty much every time. Yeah, Springtrap says I always come back. Yeah, but I was thinking of the person that became Springtrap, and I couldn't think of his name. I still can't. My mind's completely blanked. William Afton. There we go. That took forever. I hope today it will rain, because the weather was kind of hot last time. Oh. You'd love to try streaming like me? I mean, the biggest thing is just start. You'll get better at Wow, I can't speak. You'll get better at it as you go, for sure. I mean, I started with basically no knowledge. I just listened to pretty much someone doing the exact same thing as me, just talking to people. And I learned the knowledge from just watching. And then I started answering people's questions. I wasn't very knowledgeable at first, but through talking to people, I gained a lot of understanding and a lot of my material that I use to talk to people now. So it's just starting. You just have to start. Yeah, it's got his face, but apparently it's like the cloth from his tomb. I didn't even know that. I thought it was just like... I think they have one of Mary. I think they have one of Mary as well. I don't know. I really just haven't looked into them. I know there's like general... What word am I looking for? General things or disagreements. General disagreements that people have with it. It's not something I've looked into. I can't really make a comment on it, but... You went to a World Cup game on Saturday. Ooh. Ooh. How was that? You said it was crazy. Who'd you watch? I'm not really big into, like, the World Cup. I haven't kept up with it at all, but, like, who did you watch? Who'd you go for? I'm just gonna start eating golden carrots now, since I can buy them. There's no point in not. But, as you notice, there's no thing that says, I'm a Christian, ask a question. And there's no thing that says, like, salvation Q&A, grace and theology Q&A. And I wanted to do a thing, like, allow people to come up here and talk about their testimonials. That's what I was trying to fix. That's what I was having technical difficulties with that I couldn't fix in time. I did fix the subtitles, though. That's what I was working on to begin with. But right now, if people come to the stream, they're not really going to know, unless looking at the title, any of that stuff, which is why I was trying to do that really fast. I just didn't have enough time. I was trying to fix the system, because I'm making a thing where I can press a button and it's going to swap the text out on screen without me having to take a whole photo of it, put it in OBS, because that was very tedious, especially if I change up my content. I can't just quickly change the text. It's very annoying, but that's what I was trying to fix, because it broke with me last second, and subtitles broke, but I got those working. I don't know how static text was a lot harder to fix than just moving live subtitles. My brain keeps blanking a little bit. Hello, how's it going? Welcome in Team Rocket. Welcome to the stream. I was gonna say a fire username, but I'm a bit confused on the last part of the username. I don't really understand it. But the first part's definitely fire. For sure. By the way, I've officially quitted YouTube. Why? Oh yeah, by the way, if a chat is like something that you guys think is strange, just remove it. You don't have to time the person out or ban them, but if it's something that shouldn't be there, just remove it. Your personal helper friend. Ask me anything, I know everything. What does that even mean? Is that a bot? I think that's a real person. Is there any specific topics that anybody has to talk about? Well, the stream is going to be based on works, faith, all that stuff. I'm definitely going to be researching that a lot when I go onto the camp trip. I want a way better understanding and verses that I can pull up when I say it. Another thing that I'm going to be working on, hopefully I get it done before next stream, is I want to be able to say, pull up whatever Bible verse, and then it's going to pull it up on the stream. The only thing I have to be careful of is people pulling up Bible verses, either one, out of context, and it pulls up on stream, which, you know, if they pull up something crazy, it's going to be really annoying, especially if I don't want to answer it, because people are just going to think I'm dodging the question. So, I don't want to pull up a Bible verse that I don't want to answer, but it obviously has some way it can be interpreted badly. So I have to worry about that. I want to make some type of system where I can preview it before I show it. But the question is how, because it have to go above my gameplay and not in OBS. So that's a whole thing. And I'm gonna, whoa, what a stutter. I'm gonna use it for Bible reading streams, which is why I'm not gonna start those yet, because I want to get that set up so I can say, pull up whatever book, and then we just start reading through it. Is Verity here? If so, I have to leave. What's going on? What's up, Rooster Raiders? Welcome to the stream. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Welcome in, Fuller Orca MC. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Verity is a horror mod, and it's a personal helper friend. I've never even heard of that. I do not have that mod installed. Do not have that mod installed. But yeah, welcome in. If you have any questions about sin, salvation, grace, works, I'm going to try to answer those to the best of my capabilities. That's something I want to move to anyways, so if I don't have an answer, I'm just going to look it up, because that's something I've been really deep into. W stream idea, thank you, thank you. Yeah, what are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Anybody who comes in here, that's the first question I'm going to ask. And why did I try to sleep? That was odd. Yeah, that's the whole point of the stream today. It's just talking about sin, salvation, struggles, all that stuff. If people have disabilities, mental health issues, testimonials, all that stuff, I want to add a segment to the stream where people can just come up and talk about that. Of course, that's going to leave room for trolls, but I can just kick them out if it comes to that. That's something I want to do, because one of my favorite, not shows, but favorite people to watch on YouTube, I don't know how many people will know them, but they used to do like VR chat, and they'd go up to people and just have them talk about their stories. And that was one of my favorite things, because they would talk about disabilities, trauma, mental health, a lot of different things. And I believe authenticity like that is really hard to come by on YouTube. And they stopped doing that content due to mental health issues, which is understandable. But there's no alternative on YouTube that I found. So I would like to start just allowing people to come up here, share their faith, their testimonials, in any sense like that. So that's something I want to do. Welcome in, Xer. Glad to see you here. Glad to see you here. I know you're in the... You were in the stage. I don't know if you could hear me, but I was talking. You believe in Christianity. Well, welcome to the stream. Welcome in, welcome in. Gray Narwhal's already taken up the next question. What's your favorite verse or book? That's a way better way better way to say that. I don't know why I haven't said that. What brand is my microwave? What if I told you? I don't know. Let's see. I saw a small creator use this sound and he got so many subs. I tried that over and over and it didn't work, so I gave up. We just got to get used to that sometimes it's going to be a slow growth. YouTube is a very interesting thing because it's not just algorithm, it's also audience. It's a lot of different factors that play into viewership. You have to be able to create something interesting while also using something that would, I guess, pull in. I don't know. That would hook the viewers. That's what word I'm looking for. I believe that every god exists. Okay, explain. I want to understand what that means in depth. Because you believe that every god exists. What belief would that even be called? That every god exists. So, another thing, if every god exists, then do you just choose one to believe in? Do you just choose one that you like the most, that you want to believe in, and just follow that god? Or do you not follow any of them? Really like Matthew. That's a good one. I like all the Gospels. They're great. And then Paul's stuff is good. I really like the New Testament when we're coming into all of that stuff, like grace, works, salvation, the cross, sin. Just salvific theology is really interesting because it's deep. It's really deep, but it's also still very basic at the same time because it's the base of the faith while also being complicated in a lot of different ways. That's what your church is doing right now. Ooh. Okay, question. Does your church do Bible study? Does your church do Bible study? That's something I've been talking about a little bit over the past few streams. I wish more churches did Bible studies. Because if you're looking at sermons, it's going to take you years to get through the Bible. But if you're actually reading through books of the Bible, that's one of the biggest things because we're supposed to be in the Word anyways. Psalms are a good one to read. Yeah, that's another good one. I haven't fully read through the Psalms, though. I've read a few of the Psalms, and then I moved back to more of Paul's stuff and the New Testament, because I'm still not through all that. And with the Bible reading streams, I'm actually going to start going through the Bible, not just looking through it, finding verses that tick, or what word am I looking for? Not just looking through it for verses that'll make sense and that will show my point, and not cherry picking. I'm not saying I'm cherry picking. I'm just saying I do study the Bible in the way where I'm looking for certain things, and I haven't really been reading it, and some of the Bible I come across is just through watching videos. So I want to start going through books of the Bible, which is what Bible reading streams are going to be. And I have to do that daily anyway, so why not stream it and allow other people to get the word in? Is being gay a sin? Based on the Bible, it is a sin. But, again, when we're talking about sin, it depends what you mean. It also depends on what you mean by being gay. I get this question so often. But, again, if you're celebrating pride and you're doing this and that, then that would be a sin because you're celebrating your sin. But if you are having thoughts of the same gender, and I try to keep this stream kind of neutral when it comes to a lot of topics because I don't want to alienate a lot of people, but I know when we're talking about a lot of struggles and stuff, some people just aren't going to be able to not cut their tongue, but just hold back when it comes to certain words. I just want to try and keep this stream a little tame. So when we're talking about thoughts of the same gender, it depends on the action, but it also depends on if you linger on that thought. We know that Jesus said that you can sin in your heart before you actually sin. So just don't linger on it. Temptation is something that will always be there. That's not a sin in and of itself, but it depends on what you do with that thought. It depends on how long you linger. And if you feel like you've done it or lingered too long, then you probably might have committed the sin. I'd ask for forgiveness either way. I don't pray to any god, but I do think they exist. Okay, but I need some elaboration on that. Kind of like you have different lines for which afterlife. I still need elaboration. Also, if all gods exist, then how does hell in a lot of religions make sense? So every god has their own hell, but you only go to it if you believe in that god? Question mark? Why did I start YouTube? Well, it wasn't really a goal of mine. I tried to do YouTube before and I hated editing, so I was like, this is not going to be anything I ever do in my life. But I was praying to God about what job I would really do. Like, what would I do to make money? How am I going to provide? Stuff like that. Because I was thinking about jobs and how my life is going to work, and I was just praying about it. And I don't remember how it happened, which is really annoying. I probably said it in a really early stream about how it happened, and I I just don't remember the exact words that were told to me now. But basically, I was going to start pretty much a YouTube channel. And at first, I thought it was going to be me sitting in front of a camera with some lighting, talking about Christian topics or whatever. I didn't really have an idea. God just told me it was what I was going to do. I was like, okay. And then he told me it would be pretty soon that I'd start. I was like, nice, okay. 6 months went by, nothing was happening. I was like, well, God, I'm still here. You said it would be soon. I haven't started. I have this camera. I have this thing to film with. I have these lights. I have this stand. But I haven't started because I don't have the motivation to. And through that conversation, he said, you'll know what you're going to do when you see it. And that it'll happen soon. So, I was like, okay. And I waited. A few months went by. And I found this stream by Glory to God Gaming. He has, in the past few months, given up on streaming. Not given up, but let it go. So, he doesn't stream anymore. But he got me into VR chat, which was just walking around to people, telling them the gospel. I was like, man, this is really fun. I want to start doing this. And so I started setting up OBS. I started setting up streams. My first stream is on VR chat. I don't think I privated it. So that's still up if anybody wants to go see it. I wasn't very good back then, but I was learning, and I just had to start somewhere. So through watching him, I got a lot of theological understanding, a lot of apologetics understanding, and I was doing it. And only a few weeks after did I ever realize that I started doing what God said I was going to do without even realizing it. That I started the channel, I started streaming, all that stuff. So, from there, it just started, and I've just kept it up. I haven't been very consistent, just life stuff going on, and then still have to get videos out, all that stuff. But I've been trying to stay consistent. Wait, did you say he told you to start? Yes. I feel like this is going to get into a theological debate, but we'll get there. We can talk about that whole thing if you want to go over it. Having same gender attraction doesn't make it a sin. There are stories of Christians that have had it in their hearts, but after getting to know of Christ, they were able to get rid of that attraction. Yes. Yes, I believe in that. Welcome in, Breads. What do you believe? What do you believe in? Sorry, I was going on a little bit of a tangent, talking about stuff. It's important, though, so I'm not really sorry, but I don't want to miss anybody's message. Yeah, basically, if you believe you're in Christianity, you'll be judged by that belief system. But if you believe in the Norse gods, you will be judged by the Norse gods' belief system. So no god is higher in power than the other. They can't just steal people from other religions and say they did this or they did that, so they're going to this belief system's. That doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the gods would be fighting like all the time. Can I ask you a question? What are you building? I either want to make the tree of the knowledge of good and evil or the tree of life, like eternal life. Either or, one or the other. I just want to make a big tree that'll like pierce up into the clouds. Let's see. You think your chat is kind of broken right now. I can see yours. I can see it. How many days have you survived on this Minecraft world? Probably too many. I mean, the server keeps running even though I'm not on it. So the days on this server is probably a lot more. I think the guy that said every god exists means that he thinks there is one god that presents itself differently to each individual person. No, I don't believe that. I believe they legitimately meant that every god exists in some fashion. Like the Norse gods exist, the Christianity god exists, and that all of them have their own system, and if you believe in them, you're going to go to wherever the system tells you you're going to go. The apple tree from Adam and Eve, pretty much. Pretty much. Either or it's going to be eternal life tree, one of the two. There's two different streams, so there's two chats. Short form and long form type thing. You can scroll into other streams. This one, you have to find it on your own page. I'm assuming somebody asked that then. Wait, did you say they all exist? That's what someone in the chat said. They said that every god exists. Not that I'm saying that. That's what they said. So I'm just trying to share what their belief is. Because I'm trying to get an understanding and someone was talking about it. Oh, I missed someone's chat. Hold on. I read the New Testament, but I want to read the New Testament over like 2 more times or maybe 3 so I can get a general grasp of everything in the New Testament before I read the Old. See, Gray Narwhal gets it. Gray Narwhal gets it. He understands. Worth a million. Glad to see you back in here. How long has it been? Dang. Cool to see you in here. Welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do. I want to get a full understanding of the New Testament. Plus, with a good understanding of the New, it gives you a lot of context for the Old, and allows you to contextualize the New Testament in a new way, based on what you see in the Old Testament. It's been a while. Yeah, it has been a while. Glad to see you back here, though. You caught me on the one day where I actually streamed again because of stuff going on. I was really wanting to do Bible reading today. It's kind of annoying that I didn't get to it today. But I don't think I'm going to get it done this week just because of the amount of time it's going to take me to set everything up. But if I do get it done at some point in this week, I am going to start it. It's going to be weekdays. You can see in the bottom left, I changed it. So I'm going to be live at 3 every weekday. But I'm not going to be live July because I have a lot to do July. So I'm just not really going to be home as much. But after July, if I have nothing going on, we're going to start it then. Or pick it back up if I start before then. Yeah, kind of like you get placed in a line, you choose which system, then they judge you, and you go to that belief system, kind of like a front desk. Okay, is this like... Is this a defined religion, or is this just something you believe in? Like, does it even have a name? I've been trying to read the New Testament, but I'm way more of an Old Testament reader. I just believe the New Testament matters so much since it's the new covenant we're under. Of course, it's amazing to know the Old Testament just to be able to contextualize things and understand things a lot more. See how God was without Jesus, to understand the grace and the mercy we have now. All of those things. But I believe you really, really badly need to have a New Testament grasp or understanding before you move on. Because if you don't understand salvation, then you don't understand the basis of our religion. You don't understand the basis of how you are saved. You don't understand the cross, the payment of your sins. You don't understand grace, works, and faith, which is very important. Because if you believe in a works-based salvation, that's like having no salvation at all, because works is dead. You don't get any salvation out of works. Any at all. So that's why I just believe it's really important to know those things. Just salvific theology is like the most important, and then you can move on to anything else. That's my view, though. Some people might have a separate view, and that's fine. Plus, I mean, once I read it, people can just ask me questions, and I can pull up stuff and give evidence. So that's another good thing. People don't exactly have to read it before they understand. But they should still read it, obviously. Yo, I hope you have a great stream, but I got to go. I subbed, though, so I'll see you later. God bless, Roos Raiders. Glad you made it into the stream. Glad you subbed. We'll be back Thursday if I'm not doing Bible readings. If I get my Bible reading stuff done today, I'm going to be back tomorrow. Question, what am I digging for? I am just clearing out the mountain. That's all I'm doing right now. We're just going to try and get through this whole thing. You can see where I started. We are a long ways away. But we're going to get through this whole thing. And after we get through it, we are going to start building, which is going to be painful. Because I'm going to need a lot of wood and a lot of leaves. Probably more leaves than I do wood. And I don't have any leaves collected. Team Rocket said they have no proof for what they believe in, but it's just what they believe in. And Grey Narwhal said... I feel like I just said that Grey Narwhal said that. Grey Narwhal asked, and that's what the person said. Grey Narwhal then asked, well then, why do you believe in it? No offense. Oh. GS V2E, I'll pray for you and your friend. Yeah. If anybody, Surplus or Grey Narwhal, I might delegate another job to you, if that's okay. If anyone comes into the stream, can you post in the prayer request thing, if they have a prayer request or something that we should pray for them? Can you post in there and at the prayer requests roll so people can pray for them off stream? If you guys are okay with doing that for me, so I don't have to pause stream every time someone asks to do that. Because I never thought it made sense to ignore the other faiths. It seems rude to them, so that's right. I think this is the first time I have ever heard of someone legitimately meaning it when they say I respect all religions. I'm going to take a minute and pray for GS really quick, though, before I continue stream. Okay. I covered everything with that. My prayers aren't usually long. I think most people on the stream that come in here know that by now. That it's not very lengthy, but I do cover all my bases, even if you don't hear it. I also want to get better at praying out loud. Right now, it's only going to be something I do if someone asks, but I'm going to work on it, get better at praying out loud, so that's it. I forgot what I was saying. They walked in. It's just something I want to get better at, and I'm going to start doing it, even when people don't ask. That's something I am going to try to do. I think, especially on the Bible reading ones, just going to pray for discernment and stuff like that before we start streaming or anything like that. And I just need to get better at praying in general, because my memory is just not good when it comes to praying and all that stuff. Sorry, I was doing something and forgot about the stream. All good, GMR. Glad to see you in here, though. Yeah, I mean, we were planning to start at 3, but the technical delays started us at 4, so it's all good that you didn't make it in here because you forgot. Just stuff that happens sometimes. Question, what do you think you're gonna build? As I said, it's probably gonna be the Tree of Life or the Tree of Knowledge of Good and Evil. Either or. Gonna be one or the other. One or the other. So that's kind of the plan. We're almost, well, not almost, but we're getting through most of the mountain. We're definitely above like 3/4. Even though if we look at the map, it looks about half. But when we look at the length of this compared to this is like way smaller than everything we were mining before. Which is why I'm trying to clear out this specific part. Because if I do, then it's going to lower the length that I'll have to mine in the future. Even though it takes the same amount of time regardless. Like, there's stories from Greece and Egypt and Japan and China about their gods. I just feel like it seems rude just to blow off. I'll follow the teaching of their religions, like loving my neighbor. Well, but what about the religions or the gods that teach the opposite, that teach death and killing and war? I know you were talking about the Norse gods or whatever, and I'm pretty sure there's a god of war. And there's also a god of death. So, just stuff like that. What if the gods' beliefs go against your own beliefs? Will you still believe in them then? Would you follow them or say that you want to respect them? Like, not even trying to trap you in something here, I'm just genuinely curious. Welcome in, I am Star Scream. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Welcome to the stream. Hey, that rhymed. Yeah, welcome in, welcome in. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? If you have any questions about sin, salvation, want to talk about something that's on your mind, anything, we can go through stuff like that. It's kind of the point of the stream, even though I don't have the text on the screen. How do I keep rhyming these things? It just keeps happening. Well, thing is, when it comes to whether or not it's true, it's more loving to tell people about the true religion rather than letting people believe in a false religion. Yes. That's one thing I brought up to someone in VR chat one time, where we were going around and talking to people, and they said, well, I respect all religions. I'm Christian, but I respect all religions. And I straight up asked them the question, how are you respecting a person if you know that Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life, and that no one goes to the Father except through him, and yet you're letting them believe in something that you personally believe will lead them to hell? That doesn't seem loving to me. And I asked them that. I feel like they dodged the question, though. But It's a genuine question I have for people who are Christian and say they respect their religion. How do you respect something that you know is not true and can lead people astray and to eternal damnation? Depends on your view of hell in that regard. So it might not be eternal damnation, but it's still, most of the times, nothing good unless you believe in universalism, where everybody goes to heaven no matter what, which is a whole other thing. Which, yeah, it would make sense why you believe you can respect the other religions if you believe they're going to make it anyways. That's just not the teaching of the Bible, though. But that's a whole other debate. Okay, I'm on the YouTube short stream that I just joined in. All good. All good. And I'm pretty sure other people in chat can agree with me here. Like, how are you respecting someone by not telling them the truth? Are you also Christian? I am. My goal was to put up a text that says what we're going to be doing today. I didn't get to it. I didn't get to finish that. So we're going to have to do it next stream. Worth a million. Yeah, I hope everyone here is having a wonderful and blessed day. Oh! Guys. You can just say it. I know someone in the chat's gonna do it. Just get it over with. Just get it over with. How many questions are you gonna ask? Newbie's just saying random stuff. If you didn't know, Finger Puller left the Discord. I did indeed know. It seems he's still around, though. He's still talking, but I believe he's going to delete Discord at some point and focus on the Lord, which is saddening because Finger Puller having those conversations is amazing. But if it's something he feels led to do, then that's just something he feels led to do. I'd much rather him focus on time with the Lord than focus on talking to people in a Discord server. If he feels led to do that, then that's his personal conviction, and I'm not going to tell him no. Hopefully he'll come back eventually, though. I don't believe it's going to be forever, but I believe it will be sometime. It's in copper armor, too, and that's kind of rare. Yeah. Everybody, I think I see like 5 chicken jockeys in the chat. Yep, 5 of them. I knew it was coming. Someone killed the chicken! He's not a chicken jockey. Oh, no, the chicken despawned. Well, I'm sorry, but you're no longer cool. You gotta go. I also was raised to treat others how I want to be treated. My question is, we're going to get into moral subjectivity here, but if you believe all the gods are true, then how do you base your moral system just on what you want to believe? Like, you believe in every god exists, right? So, let's say you wanted to do evil things. What's stopping you from believing in a god that is all about evil and you following them? Is my question. Have I ever seen a baby zombie on an adult zombie? I do not believe I've ever seen a zombie jockey before. I do not believe so. But yeah, that's my thing, is like, I know atheism has the moral subjectivity argument where it's a big issue to be atheist because you can just do as much evil as you want. But I feel like you have the same argument under just believing in any god, because you can just believe in any god. And I don't believe you answered the question. If you believe in any god, which one do you follow? Do you follow any of them? Because I know in your view you said that people will be judged based on the basis of whatever god they believe in. So do you have one that you personally believe in? Or is that just, you just believe in every god and you don't have a specific one yet? Welcome in Spoon in a Microwave. Fire username, by the way. Welcome to the stream. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? The way I was raised to be kind, so I like being nice. Yeah, but I just believe there's nothing stopping you from saying, oh, well, I don't like this person, so I can do harm to them, right? Not saying that you would. I'm just saying if it ever came down to it, you wouldn't really have a moral argument against it. Oh, so you do believe in some of them. So, okay, I want a little bit more elaboration on that, not to like push you too much, but I do want to get understanding here. So, which ones do you like the most? Which ones have you looked into? He started it on April 16th, 2018. What are we talking about? I don't know what we're talking about. I lost it. I feel like most of the people that are joining are just like not chatting because I don't have the text up, which is kind of sad. But we do have enough regulars in here to keep a conversation going. And we have Team Rocket, which is giving some interesting things to talk about, to say the least. Really interesting stuff. Like, I'm not even trying to be mean. I'm just genuinely curious and, like, going over different moral arguments that I know of to be like, well, what's stopping this? What's stopping that? How do you believe in this? Just going through stuff, because this is an interesting take to have. I've never seen it before. Oh, Newbie's going? Oh, God bless you, Newbie. I hope you stay in good happiness, peace, and health. I hope to see you next stream. Should be Thursday, unless I get the Bible stuff, and it'll be tomorrow. I'll see you, though. God bless. Glad you got in here, though. I know doing a little bit of a later stream's a bit different for most of the regulars in here, so they might have stuff to do. Just because of that fact alone, which I'm prepared for. I wasn't expecting the technical difficulties today. So, that's what I'm going to be working on after stream, which is fun. But, it'll be worth it. Once I get everything working. Looked into the Greek gods the most, but most of them are jerks. If I had to pick, it would be Demeter, the goddess of the crops and the fields. Well, to believe in... Well, you believe in every god exists, but to believe in a Greek god, would you therefore not have to believe in the rest of them? Just because they're all Greek gods? Like, to say that you believe in Demeter, or Demeter, I feel like I didn't say that right. Demeter. I don't know why my tongue messed with me. Like, you would therefore have to believe in the other Greek gods as well? Because if you follow one... I know you believe in every god anyways. I don't know what argument I'm trying to make. My brain is fried. Yeah, but I don't have to follow them. Yeah, well... True. I just believe if you're following the Greek framework, if you follow Demeter, then you have to, therefore, at least be under the Greek god's controls in some way, because it's a Greek god in and of itself. Right? I think that's my argument. If you believe in them at all, then you therefore have to abide by Greeks' teachings in some facet. Well, Pride Therapy, Team Rocket, Pride Therapy. Christianity has to be one of the most loving religions. Seems like you would like to be a Christian. You are just mixing up kindness with inclusiveness, and they're not the same. True. I would suggest looking into Christianity. I feel like a lot of the media has definitely... Am I looking for the word stigmatized? They've just definitely misrepresented a lot of Christianity, because the teachings of the gospel is definitely not what a lot of TikTok or media present. Because we could go over the gospel right now if you really want me to tell you, if you don't know it. Am I going to stream RL anytime soon? Streaming RL is really hard to focus and answer questions at the same time. We might do other streams. I might go to Crimson Desert one stream just to see if I can do random tasks while we hang out and chat. I do want to branch out to other games, but right now my channel's like branding is entirely Minecraft, so I don't want to rock the boat too much in that regards. Just try different things, see how it works out. And I need to get better at just speaking while trying to focus on a game at the same time, because that's just going to be a skill I have to learn if I'm going to be doing stuff like this. Yeah, but I was told to... when my church found out I was bi. The church is not God. The church hurt you, not God. I think that is something that I've seen on TikTok. I've seen it on so many different platforms. Christianity is in part the church, but if the church is doing something wrong, then that's not Christianity. They're not being Christian. They're doing something opposed to God. God sat with prostitutes. Jesus sat with tax collectors. He sat with sinners. He gave them kindness. He gave them love. He gave them attention, right? and some people are going to take that out of context. I know these TikTokers. If I ever get like a little bit of fame, someone's going to clip something I say out of context and they're going to be like, see, Jesus loves you, and just go off with it. But what I'm saying is that's not the Christian, that's not the Christian teaching. No one is taught to say that to someone when they find that out. We are told to love the person. We can hate the sin, but we are told to love the person no matter what. We can disagree with what they're doing or what their lifestyle is or anything like that, but we should never be unloving to that person. We should never hate that person. Hate the sin, not the person. What that church did is they did not love the person. They did not love you at all if they were able to say that to you. And I don't know if it was the whole church or just a few people in the body of it, but I know a lot of Christian teaching has been, I believe, taken the wrong way when it comes to, what am I looking for? A lot of the church teaching, a lot of people believe the wrong thing just because they don't agree with it, I believe is what I'm trying to say. Or some people have said, as you see street preachers going, well, being attracted to the same gender is bad and you're going to this and that because of that. And that's something that has seeped into people's minds when it's not a biblical teaching in the slightest. At all. Yeah, it kind of messed me up and I don't want to remind myself of that experience. Which is fair, but I just want to say that's not Christianity. They were not following the basis of Christ when they said that to you or when they did that to you. What they did was wrong. Period. There's nothing that anybody can say to excuse that because we're not told to do that. What they did was unloving, unchristlike, and honestly, in a lot of ways, evil. That's what I want you to understand. That you don't have to love the church, or, well, not specific church, to still be a Christian. It's not a basis of your salvation. Should you go to church? Probably. But you should find one that loves you for you rather than not loves you for you. What word am I looking for? You should find a church that loves you as a person. They can disagree with your sin, but they should still be loving and congregate and all that stuff. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, you have to address everything at some point, and just because someone hurts you doesn't mean the whole body of Christ will. The real church and body of Christ. Yes, exactly. I can get not wanting to remind yourself of the situation. It's entirely understandable with what they probably did more to you, to be honest, than what you're saying. So I get that, 100%. But don't let that one experience turn you away from the entire religion or the great people that might be in other churches. Here, take a cookie. I'll take a cookie. That. Thank you. I think it totally depends on the church. Whatever they did wasn't biblical. That's what I'm saying. We're not called to do that. Honestly, I went back on saying they should love you as you are because we should hate the sin. But I feel like I'm still right in that they should love you as you are. Because the change is going to come if you actually believe in Christ. That will be something that is over time, rather than something that is forced upon you, rather than something that the church should do. They should love you as you are, not that it's okay to... What word am I looking for? Not that the sin is okay, but they should still love you even as a sinner. That's what I'm trying to say. So yes, they should love you as you are. I was going to put stuff up and completely forgot. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't saying something that I disagree with. But no, they should love you as you are. The change should be Christ. And they love you no matter what sin, no matter what thing you do. Right. I did start going to a small town church and they don't care that I'm bi. Yes, exactly. That's what I mean. It shouldn't be a point of contention, something that's brought up, something that's cared about. It can be a thing that we pray about. It can be a thing that we disagree with. But you should still love the person and love them as they are, just as they are, because that is exactly what Jesus would have done. Exactly what Jesus would have done. As I said, Jesus sat with prostitutes, tax collectors, all the people that society hated and said they were wrong for doing this sin or that sin, especially the Pharisees. And then the Pharisees come along and they see that he's doing it and they rebuke him practically. They say that he's doing this wrong and that wrong and that they just went off. But that's what I mean. Jesus, God, did not hate those people and they were in sin. And they're people that a lot of the religious people at the time, a lot of the general population hated, and yet he still loved them. Yo, Faith, W Stream, thank you, Xer. Glad to see you in here. That's what this stream's about. That's what I want to talk about on these streams. Real struggles, real things that people have went through, the biblical basis, the why, the how, etc. That is what I really feel like I want these streams to be. Talk about real testimonials, real disabilities, real struggles, real mental health issues. Give biblical basis, back it up biblically, this and just all that. Talk about stuff that's real. Say what is right, what is wrong, and just authenticity on YouTube. That's the biggest thing I want. To be authentic. Is non-alcoholic beers good or bad? We are told in the Bible that drinking is not a sin. We are told that not being sober-minded is a sin. So if you're drinking and you get drunk, then that's a sin. It's the action of being drunk, but you can still sip even like alcoholic beverages, for example, and it not be sinful. Should you though? I would recommend not, because you could easily fall down the path of, well, if I drink a little bit and you just drink more and more, and then you can eventually just get, not sober-minded. So, would I recommend it? No. Is it a sin to do that? If you can control yourself, then you're fine. The thing is self-control. That's the whole thing. So yeah, as we are told, it is the sober-mindedness that is the sinful part, whether you are or are not. Anything else is mostly secondary to that. If changing who I am is a sin, then I don't want to change because who I am, because when I was trying to be normal, it hurt my mental health. I believe, through belief in Jesus, if you truly believe, that eventually you'll want to. It won't be the thing of, well, I don't want to change who I am. It will be a thing of believing in Jesus will make you, not make you, but you will eventually have the desire to want to be better. That is what I'm trying to say. Jesus will accept you as you are. He will. But through that desire, through knowing that you are accepted, you will want to try and do better for Jesus. And that's when the desire to do better, to change how you are, who you are, etc., will come out. That is my full belief. Faith, I worked a landscaping job and I got $60. That's cool. That's really cool. Hold on, I'm gonna look for something. Because the whole gospel, if you don't know it, is being saved no matter what. Your works, your sin, your whatever is not the metric that you are saved by. If you are doing bad, doing sin, etc., everybody sins. This isn't a pass to do sin, however, but it is to know that no matter how much bad you end up doing, you are still saved. That is the works. If you have works, it is not your salvation. You shouldn't be saying, oh, I did this, and I struggled with this, and I did this, therefore I'm not saved because I did all this wrong thing, and I did this bad thing. That is not biblical. You are not saved by your works. Of course, bringing up the fact that faith without works is dead. If you do not have works, then your faith doesn't matter. Thank you for the follow. Melody, welcome to the stream. I don't know why the alerts are way down there. So, your salvation is based on your faith. If you have no works, however, then your faith is dead. It's not salvific. You are not saved by what you do good or what you do bad. You are saved by your faith. But if you don't have works at all, then your faith is dead. It's not a salvific thing, however. Also, I had people telling me that playing D&D is a sin. You must be in a church with some really old people. Like some really old people. Because that is a take that I have not heard. Like, that is a take that a lot of older generations had. You got threatened today. Why? What? If we can... Gray, if you would, can you go put in the prayer request to pray for Exer for his safety? Why? We shouldn't have people being threatened. I don't believe God wanted you this way. If you pray to God and praise him, he can set you free of it. I think a biggest thing is something I've heard that I truly believe in. Well, I don't know. It depends. I'm not going to say that out loud, because I still need to look into that. I don't think the Bible ever talked about D&D. The Bible definitely did not talk about D&D. I don't know. They get it's like demonic from something. I don't know. People are weird about that. Again, faith without works is dead. If you're not working, if you're not trying, if you're not this or that, then you don't have faith. But your works is not what saves you. You're not ever going to be perfect until you die. You're not going to be perfect until death and you are sanctified. That is my belief. I haven't looked into the Bible enough to be able to back that up biblically. But for the little bit I know, that is my belief. Yeah, but I did change their minds on that when I actually got them to sit down and play it. Okay, wait. Are these people older or are they not? I'm going to look for something really quick, so I'm not going to play the game for a second. I need to find something really fast. But I'm still going to be here. Okay, I found it. That's a sort of another topic. It's a personal conviction people have. I don't know about it personally. Yeah, it would definitely be personal conviction territory, but we're also told not to force our personal convictions onto other people. We shouldn't be first. They were in their 70s. You got people who are in their 70s to play D&D. It's kind of fire, actually. But, yeah, D&D is definitely not a sin. If you have a personal conviction and you feel like it is, then for you it is. We're told that. But I know Gen Z people who believe D&D is demonic. Okay, well, never mind then. Wow. Because another thing is you said the LGBTQ thing, and a lot of older people usually believe that you're going to hell if you're LGBTQ or whatever. So that's why I kind of made the connection after you said that, and you were talking about that, because that's usually a lot of older people's beliefs, even though it's not biblical. And I don't know if I explained the works and faith thing well, because it's nuance. It has a lot of nuance to it. It's hard to explain. If you have questions or anybody else has questions, they can ask me. That's what the stream is about. That's what we're going to be talking about. Also, welcome in, Raphael. Welcome to stream. Have you talked before? Did I miss you? You have not. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Hey, sorry, I have no clue what you said over like the last 10 minutes. All good. All good. We've just been talking about stuff. My cats were fighting. Oh. Oh, they're like fighting. That's good. You have to go. You have a date today. Have a wonderful day. You too. God bless. I hope to see you back next stream if you really have any questions or any of that stuff. Because the whole point of the stream. What is it, Spider? What happened? Guess what? What? By the way, who did you want in the prayer request? Xer. They're in the stream. If you look up Xer, they will pop up if you at them. But just at the... I'm muted on Discord. No, I'm not. What about now? Like, I'm legitimately not muted, though. Because it says I'm talking on my side. I'm not muted. I'm genuinely not. I'm genuinely not. I don't know. Hold on. Is it? I don't know. Hold on. I even left and rejoined, and people... Xer couldn't hear me either, but on my side, I'm not muted. So I don't know. But yeah, Team Rocket, God bless you and your family. I hope you all stay in good happiness, health, and peace. I hope to see you back here Thursday if you subscribed, because this is what the whole stream's going to be about. You can't find them? All good. Just at the prayer request and just put Xer, since they don't have their name available on their Discord. You can just pray for Xer and pray for their protection since they got threatened today at work. Thought it was my output, but it's not. Well, I'm going to take a moment and pray for Xer. I don't want to forget and continue on with conversations. I'm not going to start praying out loud this stream. I'm going to start it with the Bible reading streams when we start those. So that's when I'm really going to start. So for now, I'm going to mute. Anybody else who's Christian want to take a moment, pray for Xer, and pray for GS. I know they left. Go ahead. I know they left, but still pray for them with their depression and everything. I'm going to take a moment now for real. Okay. Xer said, "Hey Faith, my girlfriend just broke up with me a week before my birthday. It hit pretty hard. I don't know what to do right now. I've prayed and prayed, but I'm lost." Okay. What were you praying for, first of all? What were you praying for? I need a little bit more detail, because I am going to ask you, this might be slightly personal, but I want to get a little bit of understanding so I can give advice here, if you are okay with me doing that. It just depends what you really are willing to share, because you don't have to go in depth with it, obviously. I was just praying to God, just talking to him and being with God. Yeah, but I know you said you prayed about it. But, like, what did you say? What did you ask? Like, are you asking to be back with her? Are you asking why'd she leave? Like, I want to get a little bit of understanding in that regard so I can really give you a bit of understanding. That was definitely not the time to say an attack on a zombie, because this is serious and I'm just did that, but it's okay. I just don't need to do that again. But yeah, I just want a little bit of understanding, because I can give you advice here, and I can give you biblical stuff and what I've done before. You gotta go. Everyone have a blessed day. I'll be here Thursday. God bless Surplus. I know stream wasn't as busy as it usually was, just because of the fact, again, the text. Hopefully next stream, we'll get a few conversations, a few testimonials, a few personal topics. It was a really good stream, though, because we did get to talk with Team Rocket, and they had, that's really funny to say, but they had a lot of personal stuff that we were able to actually talk about. Every night, you basically said, why did she leave? What did I do wrong? Also, I'm glad you're here with me and stuff, and I hope that I can find the right person. You can guide me there. There's some stuff that I won't say, but yeah. Okay, I got you. Honestly, I think you prayed a pretty good prayer. Sometimes you're not going to get the answer of why. Sometimes it's not you, sometimes it is. Most of the time you'll never really know unless that person tells you. And just going up to that person and asking them most of the times isn't the right idea. And maybe God can reveal that to you. And maybe you're not meant to know. Maybe it wasn't about you. Who knows? But the best thing to pray is just, if you're tired of meaningless relationships, pretty much. I know that I would suggest praying that you get in no more relationships until you find the one. The one that you'll be with and the one that you'll marry, right? That would be my suggestion. Because if you don't want to get hurt anymore or have any meaningless relationships, then that would be my suggestion. If you're looking to date for fun, that's fine, but you also have to go into that knowing that at the end you are just going to be hurt after. Because if you're dating for fun, you're not going to find the one, if that's what you're genuinely looking for. So that would be my suggestion. And you never know how long it will take before God shows that person up in your life. It could be a while. It could be only a little while. You don't really know when it comes to that because that's God's will and God's will alone. But that would be my suggestion if you really are just tired of meaningless relationships. Again, I don't know what you're looking for. I don't know what you want and what your preferences is. But we also know that, hold on, we're going to look it up. This verse is more so about marriage, right? But I do believe it applies even to relationships. It's Matthew chapter 19, verse 6. Therefore, what God has joined together, let no one separate. It is about marriage because it talks about two people becoming one. So you can take that how you want, but that's a verse I like to use because I believe it applies to relationships as well if it's the person that you're going to marry. Because if you're going to marry that person, then there's nothing that will be able to stop you from being with that person. That is my belief. Of course, again, the verse is about marriage, so you can say I'm taking it out of context if you want to. But that is my belief, that if it is truly from God, your relationship will not fail. Welcome in, Joshua Raw. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? So, again, it just depends on what you want. There's a mixed feeling because I throw my heart around and let people break it over and over, but it still happens, unironically, because there's a part of me that still likes the thrill. I definitely want to stay in one only because I hate being heartbroken, but I thank you, Faith, for the advice and understanding. I get that, because there was a time where I was doing the same thing. I didn't really get into relationships, though. Not much. But there was a time that I felt the same way. But I prayed the prayer anyways. I think there was one time that I asked God to, just allow it. But I did pray the prayer for the one. So, that would be my recommendation. I mean, it's definitely going to be hard. For sure. I'm not going to tell you that it's going to be easy to not be with anyone for however long and not have the experience or the fun or the thrill or whatever, like you said. But if you don't want to get hurt, it's your best option. Period. If you want to find someone that isn't going to leave, that you actually have a genuine connection with, that is my recommendation. I can't see the guy's message, but I tell them to look for marriage rather than the thrill of loving someone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can understand where they're coming from. I do. But it's just... it's my recommendation. It's what you do with it that matters. And of course, we can have people in the Discord pray for that if Narwhal wants to edit the message really quick. Because that's something else that's really important for a lot of different things. Welcome in, Go-Go Gamers. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? So, that would be my recommendation. And God will give you that person at His timing. But I get what you mean. It's a tough situation, because I can't just tell you to not, because it is just what you're gonna do. It might be a split-second decision. It could be a lot of different things, honestly. So, my advice, look for marriage, pray that prayer, but that's ultimately up to you, and you can take some time to think about it, pray about it. Thank you for the follow. I couldn't really see your name, because I don't know, hold on, we're gonna fix alerts really quick. Why is alerts, is this alerts? What am I looking for here? Okay. We're gonna make this a bit bigger, because that's way too small. Okay, I fixed it. This doesn't need to be set on stream. Okay. Yeah, you and Xrd can talk in the Twitch chat as well, Century. if you two want to talk over it in the chat, just put a disclaimer at the front of the chat if you don't want me to read it, and I won't. Loki, the advice that helped me was to fall in love with Jesus more, keep your mind on his will. I think that's a good advice as well. Always put God above whatever relationship you might have in any facet. And if you're worried that you're not, then you have to find some way to be able to prove that God is above whatever relationship that is. It might be giving something up just to prove that you can do it for God, etc. That's one of the things that I would recommend. But yeah, fall in love with Jesus more. Fall in love with the Word, the Bible. And I know that can be hard sometimes, especially when you just got broken up with and you're so hurt and confused. But Jesus is always there. Jesus knows what you need and when you need it. And love can also be a learning experience. You might be able to learn things for next time, understand things, but there's also insecurities and trauma that you can form from relationships as well. That's always a thing. So just pray about it. Best thing to do is pray. I wouldn't pray for them to come back. And if you do, I'd pray that it's God's will. Because again, I believe that verse about marriage applies to relationships in general. That God is not going to allow anything to be separated once he has joined it together through his will. Hey, let me in. Oh, you want to come up here and talk? So, that's what I'd say. That's my recommendation. Okay, we're going to move on a little bit. Hopefully I answered your stuff. If you have any more questions, it's not really relationships, it's more so being led on. Yeah, if you have any more questions, I can always answer them. Let me add... How do I get you up here, buddy? Let me get you up here. It's being led on. Again, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Welcome in, Luca. Welcome to the stream. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? You're really down right now because your girlfriend is in the hospital. She's been through a lot, but I love her so much. I hope she's going to be okay. We have another prayer request coming in here then. I guess we'll just leave it to Gray to add everybody really quick. I know we have Evangelist up here. I added you up here. Spider said I'm muted on the stage for some reason. I think I'm going to reset my Discord really quick. So just give me a moment while I do that so I can actually hear you, because I can't even hear you. Okay, Gray, they put their girlfriend's name so we can pray for them. If you want to do that really quick. I'm going to reset my Discord and I'm going to pray really fast. Okay, how do I force myself up onto the stage? I don't want to end the stage. I want to go up. I requested to speak, but there's a button I can press to genuinely like send myself up here. Okay, there we go. I'm up here. I'm going to take a moment to pray for Luca and their girlfriend really quick. So I'm going to take a pause. If anybody in the chat is Christian or wants to take a moment to pray, I'm going to do that. I prayed. Another thing is if anybody comes into the stream and we talk about stuff and I give advice, or if anybody comes into the Discord and has a prayer request, if things get better or if my advice through the Holy Spirit, obviously, has helped you in any way, then I would like to hear about it. It'd be really amazing to hear praise or prayer reports, any of the stuff, really. Just to know if anything I've done helps. Because it's really helpful. Because that's what I'm doing the whole stuff for, is just to try and help people. Talk about important topics. Help people with unbelief. Help them know the gospel better. Salvation. All of that stuff. That's the whole point of all of this. So I would like to know if things get better based on what I say. I know we've had a few people come in here, which is so amazing. Because that's what I do it for. Since when has this had subtitles? I added it this stream. I'm missing the text at the top that says, like, I'm a Christian, ask a question, and stuff like that. Because I was working on editing it, but the technical difficulties today, I just had to start without it. So next stream's going to be better. For sure. Thank you, means a lot, I appreciate it. I hope she will get better, but God's will. Whatever it is the most important. I'll remain in the stream and probably fall asleep to it. Thank you, God bless. All good. All glory to God in all things. Truly. May God's will be done in every way. I'm gonna go sleep and put my stuff up. Cause low-key, the subtitles is a vibe. Well, I'm glad people are liking it. I kept them small in case they mess up, because I guarantee they're gonna put the wrong word up there eventually at some point. I know it's probably done it at least like 5 times during the stream, probably way more. So I just wanted a way so I can edit them when I start doing videos or short streams, since they're burned into the video because I'm streaming it with them on. But I believe it's really gonna be nice to have this running, just as a cool thing to have, honestly. We're gonna make it, from this system, I'm going to make it to where if I say pull up a book, it's going to pull up the book on stream so we can read it. So I can just read the whole Bible through just saying, pull up this, pull up that. I was saying at the start of the stream, I have to be careful with that, because if I pull up a verse that people are using for rage bait, or if they're pulling it up for a question and it sounds bad out of context, and I don't know it, or I don't want to answer it, it's either, 1, gonna look like I'm dodging the question, or it's 2, gonna be it's gonna be a way that some people are pushed away from the faith in some aspects. That's just not something I want to do. So I do want to be careful with that. So I want a way so I can preview it before I put it up there, which might be tedious, but I'm gonna have to figure out something like that. What did Newbie ask? Yeah, they mess up sometimes, though. And that's fine. I mean, to have real-time subtitles, it's just guaranteed. Because, again, for speed, you're losing accuracy. For accuracy, you're losing speed. There's no really good middle ground when it comes to that. But if it only messes up sometimes, then that's okay. Most of the times, it's probably because I speak a word halfway and then I don't finish it. Or if I say it in a kind of odd way, like I mumble it or something, and it's just not very open, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say. Wait, let's see. China. Oh, it does pull up trying. Okay. I wasn't actually expecting that. I thought it was going to pull up like China or something. So, ambiguous words can be a little bit difficult for it, obviously, but it does work sometimes. It's not horrendous, though, so it's a cool thing to have. I'm working on so much stuff. I literally spent all last night working on the subtitle system, and I was working on the text system, and I got it working, and then I went to stream today, and it was messed up, and I spent a whole hour fixing it, and then I didn't even get the text thing done, so that's something I just have to work on after stream. I have friends over right now, so the stream might not be too long, because I do want to go talk to them, hang out, if they're still here. I don't expect them to be, like, leave after 2 hours, but I don't want to go for too terribly long, because I would like to spend some time with them, because I don't know when they're going to leave. Just talk and hang out. So, I don't know how long the stream will be. I know we're already gone for like an hour, 20 minutes. So it might not be... We might have like another 30-ish minutes, which I'm fine with, unless stream dies down, in which I'll just close out, work on the stuff, and let it run while I'm gone. Because I have a lot of stuff I've been working on for the past few months. Once I get the stuff with stream done, I'm going to work on the stuff for videos, and once I get that done, we're going to get videos out. The video system is so complicated, which is why it's taking me so long. Every time I think I'm close to being finished, something else breaks. So, genuinely don't know when I'm going to finish that. But we'll get it done at some point. It'll help out with the amount of time it'll take for editing. Even if it takes me a few months, it'll save me that much time in the long run. It's going to save me so much time. So it's going to be worth it. I just got to get it done. Is anybody in the chat? Because, like, nobody has said anything, and I've just been rambling. Let's see. Wait, do we have... It doesn't show live viewers on this page anymore. Why? That's so counterintuitive. Luke is still here. All good. I'm just wondering, 0 concurrent there. Oof. Oh, we have 5 people here, so we do have people in here. It's just odd. There's no one talking or asking questions. The Krakenator joined. Interesting username. Welcome into the stream. Welcome in, welcome in. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Welcome in, Dark Horse. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Someone mentioned Nehemiah and Ezra a few days ago, and I've been wondering for days now who they are / were. If you know, could you tell me? Aren't they Old Testament? Again, I don't have a lot of knowledge of the Old Testament, so I don't know if I'd be able to tell you. Just because of that fact alone. I have basic knowledge of the Old Testament, and names in real life and in the Bible, I am absolutely We're just going to take a moment of silence. I'm absolutely terrible with, so even if I know, I'd forget and wouldn't be able to tell you. So terrible with names. Oh, cool, you have 200 XP. But yeah, Dark Horse, welcome into the stream. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? I know you said hello. I don't know if you're still hanging out. The delay is so annoying. Like, it's not annoying, but it's just kind of sad. Oh, okay, you're hanging out. You think you just found your new favorite streamer. Oh boy. The delay is a little bit sad though, because people come in here and they say hi, and then I don't respond immediately, either because I'm talking about something, or because I say it back and there's just such a delay. It takes so long for people to realize I'm talking to them, and then they just leave. So, kind of sad in that regard. Nothing I can do about that though, which is a little annoying. But it doesn't seem to be such a huge problem. People still hang out and talk about stuff. Next stream's gonna be a lot better. I know it, since I'm going to be talking about more salvational things, and if we get the Bible reading, it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a fun time reading the Bible. Fun time. I know, right? Yeah. Wait, Grey Narwhal, do you know, can you answer Sentry's question? Because they're asking, like, who they were. Who Nehemiah and Ezra was. If you could answer it for them, then I can just say it. That would be very helpful. It's been a good stream, though, for sure. Mainly the talk with Team Rocket, which is funny to say. That's such a funny username, because I'm just saying the first 2 words, and it's Team Rocket. But just having the talk with them made this stream entirely worth it. For sure. You creeper and bro helped you. I believe in Christianity, non-denominational Christianity specifically, but I believe it doesn't matter which denomination you are. I believe it matters which denomination you are, because I believe it depends on what you believe about salvation. You don't know much about it either, Gray. You just know the basic stories. Got you. Yeah, I believe denomination matters because it depends on what you believe on salvation. If you don't believe faith works, grace, faith works, if you don't believe that the works is not what you are saved by, then I believe that the denomination does matter at that point. Now, that's not a jab at Catholics at all, or anyone else for that matter, because I know Catholics are seen as people who believe in works alone, which I've been looking into that, still forming my opinions. I've looked into the catechism, I think it's called, a little bit. I believe there might be an argument there. I don't know. I've looked into it a little. It's just Catholic debates I don't really want to get into. It's not something I want this channel to be about. Am I playing in a different world, or is this the same? Sometimes you play in a world with a lot of buildings where you were building a church. That's over there. That, like the church and the cross and all that's over there. Right now I'm cutting down the mountain. It's all the same world, though. You can see spiders way over there. You recommend building a tent duper. What is that? Can I show you my withered foxy impression? That's funny. I don't really care if you're being serious or not. That's funny. But if you are, I'd say no, because I don't want to, like, scream in my viewers' ears. That would be kind of sad for all people involved. Let's see. It'd be the night guard. What's going on? But yeah, I am going to end pretty soon here. It'll be a pretty short stream today, just because I'm going to go hang out. Let's see. I don't know why I did that. If anybody else has any questions, though, we'll continue on. Whole point of the stream. Let's see. Been a pretty good stream, though. Looking at everything in total. You subbed, twin. Nice. Welcome in, Demo Way. What are your beliefs? What do you believe in? Welcome in, welcome in. Wait, do I have slow mode on? Wait. Guys. Hold on. Do I? I hope I don't. I do not. Okay, good. Nice. What is this about? This is a Christian stream. We are going over salvation, grace, sin, struggles, testimonials, all that stuff. That's the whole point of the stream. The text isn't up today, though, so you can't really tell. But that's what it is for. I didn't realize you have 2 streams. Oh, you have one for shorts. Yes, I do. I do. Well, it's a thing that flies in lines, the same line that drops TNT. Oh, you like the shaders? Thank you. Demo Way said what? Like, we talk about Christianity, biblical topics, all that stuff. We answer people's questions that they might have, what they don't have knowledge on, just stuff like that. Yeah, I'm in both. Gray's probably moderating both for me right now. Gray and Surplus are in the streams the most, so I'm just going to give them moderator perms, because sometimes moderating takes away from the stream, and sometimes going into the prayer request section to ask for prayers for people takes a while, and I'm not talking during it, so it's just kind of a interruption to the stream. So that's why I kind of like try. Okay, that's why I delegated it to Grey Narwhal, because they can do that without me having to interrupt stream. That's what I'm trying to say. I did not just walk into that door. You didn't see that. I'm just gonna chill out a bit. Whoa, we've actually had a pretty good stream today. I accidentally looked at the analytics, like right now, but I recommend you to build it. Well, I mean, I don't really need a TNT dropping machine at the moment. I might build it if I have to clear out like a ton of chunks all the way down to bedrock at some point. Make like a pylon or something cool. Wait, actually, before I end off, I'm gonna go put up my stuff. I'm gonna go say hi to Spider Space. I wanna go see something. Because I think I'm gonna end around like right now. Again, unless people have questions, I just feel like it's time to end. Next stream's definitely gonna be better. I got this feeling inside my bones. Let's see. So yeah, that's the plan. Work on stuff. Bye and have a good night if you're gonna go now. I'm gonna go show around Spider's base really quick. And if we get no questions in the meantime, then I'm just gonna end off everything. Oh, I forgot I'm down here and I don't have my minecart. Okay, we're gonna have to walk. Whoa. Just curious, how often do you stream? I do Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 p.m. EST. However, if I get Bible readings done, it's going to be every weekday at 3. So, it just depends on really how long it takes me to get those streams working. I won't be able to make it to Thursday stream, but I'll watch it if I can. Well, I'm going to start doing Bible readings after each stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then for the other days, I'm going to be streaming at 3 doing Bible readings. So I'm going to start that this week if I get everything fixed for it. Spider, I came over here and everything started lagging. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start doing 3 p.m. streams if I get everything set up by tomorrow. So I'm either going to be back tomorrow, guaranteed Thursday, maybe Friday. Just depends on how long everything takes. Spider, this place looks good. Oh, I see why I'm lagging now. I found the issue. I feel bad for everybody's ears. Oh my goodness. Spider, you do not need this many animals. You do not need this many animals. There's so many. This is so many. My frames are dying. This channel is just for me, Christian and Minecraft related. Well, welcome in. If you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, we are about to end, but this is what this channel is. We might branch out eventually at some point, test out other games, but for now, we're going to do Minecraft. That's small compared to my chicken farm. I'm concerned. I'm concerned. I'm pretty sure everybody can... Well, not everybody. I'm sure some people in the chat can guess what this is. I'm going to see if anybody gets it. Does anybody here know what this is meant to be? Okay, I'm just going to walk away and go look at the other stuff. I gave people enough time to look at it. So what's this going to be? Not me. Is this an open server? It is. It's on Java, though. Oh, a greenhouse. Cool. I'm going to make a Bedrock server eventually. Even if we don't get big, I'm probably still going to make one. Just host it off my computer. I don't know what it's going to have in it. It might just be straight up vanilla. So, we'll get Bedrock going at some point. I hope you grow big, man. I hope so, too. I feel like it's going to happen when I get videos out. It's just whenever I get videos out, you know? That's just how it's going to be. God's will be done in all things in regards to that. But we're hanging out. Warden or Wither plus Ender Dragon? I'd rather fight the Wither and the Ender Dragon at the same time than fight the Warden. The Warden is a beast. You don't know what the green emerald thing is. Come on, somebody has to get this. Nobody in the chat knows ball. It's so over, Spider. It's so over. Sad. Indeed. Indeed. I'm not even going to tell them. They must contemplate it for the rest of their lives until they get it. But yeah, the cubics. Glad you came in here. Glad you came in here. Yeah, we're just kind of silent while we're ending off. Got Spider's nether portal over here. Spider, when are you gonna work on your main, like, big castle part of your base? Like, your actual base. Because me personally, that's what I would have worked on first. Yeah, I would have worked on the spot where I keep all my stuff first and then worked on the rest. That's just a personal thing for me. A broken emerald. Oh boy. Nobody knows. Hold on. Okay, I'll make a promise. If somebody reminds me on Thursday's stream, I'm gonna bring it up again. And if someone doesn't get it, I'll tell everybody. But for now, it will be a mystery. Kind of. Spider, I do not believe you're homeless. I believe this is... I mean, Spider. Come on now. Is it related to the Bible? No, it is not. Yeah, you're not homeless. You have a lot of homes here. You just choose to be homeless. You're homeless, but you're not castle-less or building-less. Anyways, I'm going to end off here. It was a great stream. Had a lot of good conversations. I know we're going to have so many more Thursday. I really hope nothing happens where I can't stream Thursday. God's will be done, though, always, because, well, if it happens that way, it happens that way. I know last stream I was planning the stream, and God kept me from doing it, because there was no reason for my computer to break. Everything I did couldn't fix it. I left it alone for a few hours. I did the same thing I did the entire time, and it randomly fixed. All because I said I'd let God deal with it. So I just wasn't meant to stream last week, which is all fine. It's just, it is what it is. Anyways. My mom's kind of homeless. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. God bless you. Everybody here who made it to the end of the stream. You, your families, your health, your happiness, your love, your peace, your kindness. I hope you all come into the full revelation of the Lord's greatness, holiness, and power. And I'll see you guys next time. God bless. See ya.